Never, ever, not once did the priest ever examine the worshiper. He only examined the lamb. I can't tell that without weeping because of the years I spent examining me and believing the priest was examining me. And the whole time the priest said, the reason you needed the lamb is because it had to be without spot, without wrinkle, and without blemish. And when you stand in the presence of God with your hands lifted in the air, it's not because of your report card. It's because of the perfection of the lamb. And that's what John meant when he said, behold, behold. Check him out. Inspect the lamb that takes away the sin of the world. You are completely whole. I want you to look at me. You are completely whole. If you looked at pornography today, you are completely whole. And the reason you looked at pornography today is because you had no clue you're completely whole. See, this is the problem. This is the problem is you think progress brings fulfillment, and it never does. Ask somebody who's made some progress. Because religion said if you get through the process, then you'll have wholeness. So I start looking at the people who teach the process and go, well, none of them are whole. If you're teaching the process and you ain't whole, you probably don't need to take me on the path of the process to try to lead me into wholeness. And I realized I've taught the process and I wasn't whole. And I'm going back and saying wholeness is not something you aim at. It's the first gift you get given. The first gift you get given is complete, absolute, total wholeness. Start from there. The most whole person I've ever known in my life is Tammy. And the other people will agree with that are not Tammy's husband. She's the most completely whole person I've ever known. You know why? She wasn't raised in religion. So when she found out Jesus loved her, made perfect sense to her because nobody had spent her entire life telling her how pathetic she was, thinking it might get her to the altar so it could repeat the prayer so we could count her and put her on the list. I had an amazing natural father. He carried me to a church where the preachers beat me because he never would have. You see the difference? You can be abused in a lot of different ways. And we have been tied to the whipping post of religion and thought one more lash is what you need to help you act right. Here's the statement. Why does the church in the West hate the message of grace? Because the church in the West has not learned how to do mutual indwelling with the Holy Ghost. I'm going to say this is big. There's a pedagogue and there's a paraclete. The pedagogue is the slave master. That's the name given to the law. And you and I have lived in a religious world where we tried to get the paraclete and the pedagogue to dance together. And Ishmael has to go. The slave master has to go. The comforter comes. The one who comes to bring comfort, to reinforce kindness. How do you know if you're under the pedagogue or the paraclete? And I'm going to close with this. How do you know if you're under the pedagogue or the paraclete?